So it has been a minute since I have made a video on this channel. There's a lot of factors into that. I've been wrestling with what do I want to do with the channel. I feel like I'm always wrestling with that because it doesn't have a direction. It doesn't have a niche. And I think honestly, I just need to let that go. I just need to embrace that this channel is going to be what is going on in my life. It's going to be things that I'm thinking about, things that I'm wrestling with, and it doesn't need to be something that has a grand purpose to it. If a video is going to resonate with somebody, it's going to resonate, and that's fantastic. And if it's not, if my videos don't get any views, that's okay, because a lot of it is me sharing my life, processing my life, to make sense of it. And that might resonate with people and that might not resonate with people, and that's perfectly okay. So in this video, I'm just going to kind of give some updates. It's not going to be like a one topic video. Like it's not going to be the truth about Donald Trump, or it's not going to be the truth about Christianity, or, whatever. It's not going to be one of those videos where I'm really hammering in a topic. So with that said, what has been going on in my life? I have been incredibly busy with my business. It's peak wedding season. For those who don't know, I'm a wedding videographer and a commercial videographer. And so I've been filming a lot of weddings, editing a lot of weddings. And that's where a lot of my kind of video production time has gone the past few months. I've also been trying to spend more time outdoors. Unfortunately, we have a massive heat wave going on. So I haven't been able to do that as much recently. I have taken up yoga in the last week, so I can't say that like I'm a master yogi or anything, but I've been doing that to really work on my back and my neck, and kind of I've realized how unflexible I am, how, just sitting at a keyboard and holding a camera all the time are not things that build flexibility. They're not things that build whole body strength. And so I'm trying to get moving more. And, I've got a yoga mat. I've got space for it in my apartment. So I'm doing that. I'm just starting beginner yoga, 20, 30 minutes a day. Today, I'm recording this on a Sunday. I was able to do 2 20-minute sessions, and it feels amazing. It's kind of addicting. I don't know if it will get less addicting as I get more familiar with it, or if just that movement, that being in my body when I spend so much time up here in my head and on the computer, that might be a really, really powerful thing for me, because I find, things like walking, riding my bike, or lifting weights, they're kind of boring. Yoga tends to be a little bit more meditative, introspective, have a little bit more of a mental component to it. So I've been enjoying that a little bit more, and just the more full body movements versus, I'm just pedaling with my feet, or I'm just lifting with my arms, that kind of thing. I've also been spending a lot of time helping my mother. She's in kind of a transitional period of her life. Her health is not fantastic, so we're figuring out a lot of things around that. It was recently the 9th anniversary since my father passed away, and so I've been thinking a lot about him, a lot about that, a lot about how 9 years have passed, about the good, the bad, what would he think about where my life's at now, kind of all of those things. The thing that I haven't really been thinking about that much is Christianity, I've made a lot of videos on this channel about Christianity, my deconstruction from Christianity, leaving the faith, and yeah, it's not been a huge focal point of my life anymore. Like, sure, I think about it sometimes. I'll have discussions with different people about it, who are also going through that deconstruction journey. A lot of it tends to frame more around the politics of Christianity right now, how, the Trump administration has largely co-opted the church, how you see a lot of Christians cheering about what's going on with ICE and immigration, with all of the Medicare, Medicaid cuts, all the different things going on in politics that most people that I'd consider good and sane are not going to be fans of, but somehow a lot of Christians, at least online Christians, Christians on TikTok, on YouTube, on Instagram, seem strangely excited about. They seem strangely excited about families being ripped apart. They seem strangely excited about all of these things that are going to get people killed or separated from their families or injured, or just a lot of really bad things that are going to happen. And it baffles me. It baffles me because when I was in the church, when I was still a Christian, I never would have had those thoughts. I never would have cheered for what's going on right now. In fact, there certainly was a strong right-wing element to the church when I was still in the church, especially around immigration. And I had the amazing pleasure of doing ministry with a lot of migrant farm workers in Washington State growing up, from 6th grade through a couple years after the end of high school. Actually, I was very, very deeply in a ministry. Some of those people were documented, some weren't documented. A lot of the kids were DACA recipients. And yeah, I spent a lot of time arguing with and fighting with people in the church about immigration because I had a very, very strong opinion. I still have that very, very strong opinion. I give a lot less of a fuck about your documentation status as to how you treat people. And yeah, I don't care if people are not here in quite the right way or if their documents expired or whatever. Like, I don't give a fuck. It does not affect my life. What does affect my life is seeing the absolute evil and cruelty that the Trump administration is doing, and that large sections, I'm not going to say the whole church because that would be a false picture, the same way that they paint all immigrants as horrible people. But a large portion of particularly the evangelical church cheering for all of this, I find it incredibly disturbing. It's disgusting. And that's really the only element of Christianity in the church that I still really think about and engage with. I'm not interested in wasting more of my life on apologetics, counter-apologetics, all of that kind of stuff. I'm interested in how can I make a difference in the world, a positive difference in the world with the people that I know, that I care about. That's what really matters to me so much more than the theology and the history and all of the stuff that I have spent many, many hours diving into, and to my satisfaction, feel that I'm making the best decision possible in leaving behind the trappings of Christianity. I can't control whether I believe it or not. If I don't believe it, I don't believe it. I can't make myself believe in the tooth fairy or unicorns or the Loch Ness monster any more than I can make myself believe in Yahweh. I can't. That ship has sailed. I would need something insane to happen to convince me otherwise, something repeatable and sustained, not just like a one-time crazy vision, because there's a lot of ways you can explain crazy visions with science. But yeah, so that's really where I'm at with Christianity, is it's not something I really worry about, except in regards to the alt-right, the far-right, the evangelical Christians who are cheering on Donald Trump and his inhumane policies. So yeah, so essentially that's kind of where I'm at right now. I don't want to promise any kind of upload schedule because I don't know. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with this channel, where my thoughts are going to be at. And I have so much that I want to do. Like, I want to be shooting a lot of different short films. I want to be, there obviously for supporting my mother as she transitions in her life and deals with some health crises. I want to impact, I want to leave an impact in the film community. I want to be continuing to grow my business. So I have a lot of different things going on, and I'm having to scale back some things. Like, I think I've talked about it on this channel that I have a TikTok channel and a YouTube channel separate from this one where I talk a lot about Russia's invasion of Ukraine. I've had to back off on that a lot too, because I simply don't have the time and the energy to put into making daily videos there, or making a lot of videos for here. And even like on my YouTube channel, I haven't had a ton of time to make content. I batched a ton of content, scheduled it out, and haven't shot a video for that channel in like 3 months. So, kind of like here. But hopefully I'll be back here a little bit more. I'm really going to try and not be as polished on here, which has been a goal of this channel its whole time. I just I get into my head and I try and overly polish my thoughts instead of actually being me, being myself, being who I am. And, making it really clean. You watch too many videos about how to blow up your YouTube channel, and it's all like, cut the fat, be really polished, be shiny, make sure that something new is popping on the screen every 10 seconds, or, that kind of stuff. And that's not what I want to do with this channel. I don't want to be catering to an algorithm. I want to be hopefully building relationships with you guys, with anyone who's still watching this video. Hopefully something I'm saying is connecting or resonating or is interesting at the very least. And we can connect on a human level, because to me, that's interesting. That's what makes these platforms more interesting. I'm not interested in arguing about theology or why that Jesus Christ is Lord and that I'm going to hell. I can still get a lot of comments on my other videos like that, and I don't care. I'm living my life. I'm doing what I feel is right. And yeah, that's really kind of what I wanted to share in this video. And if you're still here, thank you so much. I hope to see you again very, very soon. And yeah, have a fantastic day, whatever you believe, wherever you're at in the world. And I'll catch you soon.